Estabrook, another friend by the name of Mr. William Lambert, at their campsite that evening. At approximately 8 p.m. that night, Miss Fuller went to sleep in the tent that she was calling her home. She woke around 9 p.m. that evening to a commotion. She went outside the tent and she saw the defendant, Mr. Steadman, having a verbal argument with Mr. Ronald Pratt. Ms. Pratt was pushed over a table and fell to the ground, at which point her husband, Robert Scott Fuller, attempted to intervene into the fight. Ms. Fuller was pushed to the ground by the defendant, and while on the ground, he was kicked by Mr. Estabrook and the defendant. When Ms. Fuller went to intervene and try and stop the beating, she was attacked and hit with a plastic chair by the defendant across her face. Mr. Estabrook and Mr. Steadman then left the area that night. Mr. Lambert had already left while she was asleep and was not there during this violent altercation. They took off in his Chevy Tahoe, which she gave a description to the police. She gave the description also that Billy, Mr. Lambert, lived at 20 Hunt Street, apartment 7A in the Courtyard Apartments. She went to sleep after treating her husband's wounds and noticed that Ronnie had no injuries. When she awoke the next morning, her husband was calling for her name. She went to Ronnie's tent, which was right behind hers, saw her husband, and the tent had been slashed open. She noticed immediately the pool of blood and checked for his vital signs. He had none. That is when she and her husband left the campsite, walked to the Deskies, and made a phone call to the police concerning the dead body.